Good morning, students. Welcome back to your San Nicolas de Tolentino virtual English classroom. I'm very happy to be back with you guys. Today we need to talk about several things, but before we begin, we're going to say a little prayer together, okay? So everybody with me, please. Dear Lord, thank you for the new opportunities you bring me every day. Amen. Okay, now to begin discussing the topics that we're going to touch today, let's begin with the date. Today is Monday, April 27, 2020. Like we usually do in class at school, we're going to have a phrase of the week. We're not going to spend much time on these things because we have a limited amount of time, okay? But this week's phrase is dream big, work hard. I'm pretty sure most of you can translate and understand the meaning of this. And this is the idea for all of us to come together and help each other with our learning development in all the areas that we see in school, okay? All right. So, first, I would like to talk about the method that we're going to be using throughout the week. First, I'm going to send you a video like this one where you're going to see an explanation of the topics within the guide or within the pages that we're going to be working with inside the book. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you a general idea of the topic. We're going to be talking about some vocabulary. We're going to do some pronunciation. It is very important for you guys to take notes during these videos because that's what some of your grades are going to be based on. And it's also very important because during the evaluation, the information that you obtain or that you need is going to come from these notes. Okay? It is very important also to be very self-sufficient and to be very responsible with your work. This is going to be assigned on a daily basis. I'm going to be sending you messages over through Edmodo and through your coaches, and you're going to receive the information for the next class as we meet, okay? So for example, today you get a video. We're going to have an explanation of all the topics that are going to be inside the 2 pages that we're going to be covering first in our student book. And then you guys are going to have the time after you watch the video and take notes to develop those 2 pages. During the time that we have our live class through the webcam conference, through Zoom, we'll be going over the guide and we'll be talking about the topics, the readings, the grammar, the vocabulary. There, I will be answering any questions that you guys may have. Okay? After we do that, the idea is that you guys are going to be working other aspects, which are going to be your workbooks. So after we do the explanation of the guide and we clear any doubts that you guys might have, I will be giving you another set of workbook pages for you to develop on your own time using your tools like your dictionary, like your interactive disc. You will also be given certain assignments where you'll have to go in the disc and do the activities for the pages that we're working on. So for example, if we're doing guide 1A and that's page 5, you're going to do page 5 on the interactive disc, which is the same activities that go with that page to reinforce the topics, the pronunciation, and the vocabulary. Another things, there will be days where I will be sending you links, outside links, because we are going to be working on the writing aspect and listening and other activities. I found a couple of links that are very interesting and they're going to help us a lot. So you will be getting the information as we go. This is all an adaptation process for all of us. So I understand that some of us may not have the tools, some of us may not have the time, but we need to accommodate as we go and as we learn from each other. Okay, guys? Like I said, I hope everybody is safe at home. I hope that everybody has been closer to their families and in a good environment, because the best thing we can do is have a good attitude towards this situation, okay? All right. Another important thing that I want to talk about is a couple of rules that I want everybody to handle, which are to be punctual and ready when we come to our virtual meetings. I need you guys to have your books, your materials, your writing utensils. Everything is going to be written in your notebooks, okay? I also need you to respect the classroom, even though it's a virtual classroom, but there will be no talking. There will be silence when I'm talking and explaining a topic. Also, something that is very important for you guys is to complete your assignments by their due dates. So, for example, today you are watching this video, you need to develop page 10 and 11, which I will explain later on. And on Tuesday or Wednesday, when I see you again, we are going to check or go over this work together. So you need to stay up or keep up with your work on a daily basis. Another rule that I need you to keep always in mind, and this is for your benefit, is to take clear and concise notes. Take clear notes. These will help you to remember the things that you are going to need, or the information you're going to need for your evaluations. Evaluations will usually be held at the end of the week, so Fridays, and we will work the same type of method throughout the week. So Monday usually will be a video, followed by work, followed by class, followed by more work, followed by an evaluation. All right, guys? So I hope everybody takes really good notes and is always prepared to class. Some days, or most of the time, I will give you the information ahead of time. So I want you to familiarize yourself with the vocabulary and with the topics as much as you can. Use your tools. We are at home now, so you can use your computers to research some of the information and familiarize yourself. All right? All right. Well, we're going to begin now with the development of the first activity. Now that I've given you guys this explanation, if you guys need to watch the video more than once, you can do so, but take good notes, okay? I am not going to be talking to you guys in Spanish because you guys are already in 11th grade class, and you need to do your best effort to become fully bilingual, okay? And now that we have even more time, you can dedicate more time to this. So, the first topic that we are seeing, or that we left on since last class, was culture shock. Last class in module 1A, we were talking about 3 different tribes. We talked about their differences, their lifestyles, some of their customs. So now we're going to continue talking more about culture shock, cultures and their differences. But now the word or the topic that we're seeing is culture shock. The word culture shock. All this information is in your books, guys, okay? So either way, you can look it up and um and review it if you didn't understand it. Culture shock, by definition, is the feeling of disorientation when someone is suddenly subjected to an unfamiliar way of life. Okay, guys? All right, so some examples of culture shock, and if you want to find out more about it, you can research it. But some examples are jet lag, like when we fly over to places that are very far away and there's a big difference in time zones and we experience jet lag, or when we experience altitude sickness, or the changes in food and traditional customs. These are examples of times or ways that we can experience culture shock, which there are many others, okay? Now, continuing, you guys need to read on the development of page 10 and 11. You need to first read the text about the ultimate culture clash and then answer the questions accordingly in your notebooks, okay? Now, there's also two things that we are seeing in page 10 and 11, which are stative verbs and past tenses. So first, I'm going to explain stative verbs to you guys. Stative verbs are verbs that explain or express a state of being instead of an action. All right, so there are four different categories of these verbs, and they are used depending on the situation or the context of what you're trying to express. All right. Like I told you guys before, if you need to see the information, you can go to page 159. So if we go to page 159, we have the title there that says stative verbs, and we can read through the differences. I need you guys to have the information clear, but if you read, it says verbs which describe state rather than action. All right. There's four different kinds. There's verbs of senses. So verbos de sentido, which it would be what it would traduce, like appear, feel, hear, look, see, smell, sound, and taste. There are also verbs of perception, like believe, forgot, know, understand, etc. Now, you guys need to review this information and also review the information for simple past and past progressive. Okay? Simple past is very easy. I know that you guys know all the structures. Is the use of ed with any kind of verb. So for example, I play in the park, I played in the park with ed at the end, and so on. So you guys need to review those structures. And the past progressive is when there was an action in the past that was still going on. So I was playing in the park yesterday, for example. All right. I know that on grammatical structures, you guys are very clear and very smart. Now, besides the grammatical structures, we're also going to be working another aspect of the book, which is very important and is going to help us develop and increase our vocabulary skills and our writing skills, because we're going to be writing um, different types of essays like we had talked about: descriptive, narrative, interrogative, expressive. Okay, guys? So on page 174, we have a word list. We're going to be working this word list, and what I'm going to do in the video is work pronunciation with you guys. But during the time throughout the week, I need you guys to find the time. It'll usually be after we finish the guides in the workbook, but you will be needing to use your dictionary, and in your notebooks, you're going to make a list of vocabulary definitions. And I will be checking that. I will need you routinely or every so often to take a picture and send it to my email so that I can see that you are working on your descriptions. This will be part of your grade. All right? So, for today's list, because we are doing page 10 and 11, we are going to begin with pronunciation. Like I said, practice the pronunciation at home, practice in the mirror. You can watch this video several times and listen to me pronouncing to you, all right? And repeating it back. So let's begin. Adapt to. Bow. Convinced. Doubt east. Elevator. Elevator. Emotional. Emotional. Gasp of wonder. Gasp of wonder. Give a second thought. Give a second thought. Hospitality. 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 Invisible. 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 Look after. Look after. Meet with terror. Meet with terror. Overwhelming. Overwhelming. Pause for thought. Pause for thought. Rare. Rare. Revolving door. Revolving door. Secluded. Secluded. Shadow. Shadow. Spear. Spear. Stand still. Stone age. Suspicion. Suspicion. Swap. Swap. The elderly. The elderly. Treasure. Treasure. Alright guys, I need you guys to practice this pronunciation, because once we meet in live class, I will be asking and checking that you guys are following up with the pronunciation, okay? So now, the activity is, or the instructions will be for you to go back to page 10 and 11 and do the activities and realize the activities. There are some activities that you just have to mark the answers. There's some that you have to write longer answers. If there are answers that you can't fill in the spaces, I need you to copy the answers in your notebooks, okay? I will ask for those exercises specifically through a message or through an email so that I can check them for completion. Right now, some of you may have already done this activity. If you have, review the vocabulary, review the activities, go on your CDs and review or play around with your activities in your CD related to these pages so that you can reinforce the topic. Right now, this week is probably going to be a week of transition for everybody. So once we get adjusted, then we'll start picking up the rhythm. Okay, guys? I hope that everybody is safe, everybody understands the instructions, and if you guys have any questions, you can ask your coach to direct your questions to me and I will answer them with all pleasure. All right? Have a great day. Don't forget to keep up with your work. And remember, stay at home and be safe. Wash your hands. Bye, guys.